Our foods take care of us, and in return, we must care for them.
This isn't just a practice for us, it's part of who we are.
You're helping us secure and revitalize our history. Really excited that you all are using this curriculum. One of the key things from my perspective and the tribal perspective that we want you all to acknowledge is where a lot of this ancestral knowledge comes from. And so when you're doing this work, that you're paying homage to where that comes from. If you can, find out who to ask or what to ask permission for. So if we're going out harvesting or there's working with traditional plants and medicines, is there a permission protocol that needs to be a part of that place?
Today we are here at the Delphi School and we are gathering canvas, and this is a significant historical site for Squaxin. Our people have been caring for this space, for centuries. Our first teachers are the trees, are the plants. It's our classroom is outside. One of the methods that we hope to bring back is that art of noticing, taking the time to breathe and to be in the moment, to notice the plants that are coming up for the first time in spring and to see what bugs are pollinating those plants. The foundation of our culture is that natural science. It's what binds us together as people, as humans, because we can all say that we have this connection to the land, that we have this connection to the earth.
So we're very much a protocol-based society, so that when we sing a song or we tell a story or we provide a teaching, is we give acknowledgement to where that comes from. So we want to make sure that you access that information, you work with your local tribal group to identify where those are, so that spiritual and intellectual property rights that belong to that tribal group are adhered to.
The stories are teachings. And storytelling is an indigenous cultural way of transferring knowledge. And this story I learned from Roger Fernandez from the Lower Elwha Clallam tribe.
So a long time ago, on the other side of the mountains from where we are here today, in the Plateau region, there was a time of big hunger. They were starving, they were so hungry, you would hear elders and children crying from that great hunger. And there was a grandmother who was so sad when she heard her grandchildren cry, so she went out to the hills. And as she went out to the hills, so sad, weeping because she had nothing to feed her grandchildren, she began to sink into the earth as she was weeping. And she was weeping and sinking into the earth until she was completely covered. And back in the village, her grandchildren wondered where she went. And they went out towards that hill she went to. And the granddaughter said, "I feel Grandma, she's right here." And they began to dig. And the grandchildren dug, and they began to dig up camas bulbs. And so grandmother turned into camas to feed her grandchildren and to feed the people. And that is all.
She's sweet, tender, love and care. Anywhere that I go, she's always there.
First thing we talk about really is having gratitude and giving something back. So whether that is starting with a song or a prayer or just acknowledging the plant, telling it how you're going to use it. I always try to get the students to be as specific as they can. If they know this medicine is going to be harvested and processed for the elders, then they can let the plant know exactly how it will be used. Another really important harvesting ethic is that we look around and make sure we're in a safe, clean space. So we are away from any major roads or places where there would be pollution, maybe agricultural runoff or things that might get sprayed with pesticides or herbicides. Another principle would be to never take more than you need. And sometimes that could be hard because the harvesting and gathering can be the most fun part. But then you get home and you realize that now is when the work actually begins, and there may be many, many more hours and many, many more steps and days of processing that plant to medicine or food. Blueberries are related to the huckleberries.
And keep this berry plant.
A lot of our traditional plants are being over-harvested, and our goal is to get them into the hands of these kids, get them growing into the gardens, to take pressure off of the ecosystems that are struggling. So just start it in your own garden. There's camas, easily done in a garden, and beautiful flowers. The kids can watch the different phases of the plant and its growth cycle. I teach the kids about getting outside, getting into the dirt, playing with it, and really developing that connection to being outside, breathing that fresh air. They get out here, they instantly become curious. They instantly want to ask the questions, the in-depth questions that as a teacher you want them to do, so that you can answer the questions and get that curiosity moving through them. Don't be afraid of the questions. Students will ask questions that I don't know either, and the best thing you can say is, I don't know, and research together and continue to go out to the garden to find those answers.
I just think something different happens when you take our youth outside and they get that chance to connect with the landscape. The teachings and the lessons are much more meaningful. Even with my own children, my son had been hearing the story of camas, learning about camas, but once we went out and got a chance to really dig camas with our community, taking his own digging stick out and going out on the landscape and doing that work and that interaction with the land, after that experience, he was able, he told me, Mom, I have the secret to life. I figured it out, and camas taught me the secret to life. And of course I asked him what it was, and he said that camas had taught him that everything has a gift, and when you find your gift and give it to the world, that's the secret to life. And really it was that experiential learning, being outside on the landscape, interacting with the camas as a teacher and with the different generations that we were with, that helped really him come to that realization.